Hello, everybody. Once again, it is Tuesday and time for Story Time with Teacher Cole. My name is Teacher Cole, and I am the owner and host of Conquering at Homeschooling. I am a private online teacher who specializes in small groups for helping children who are homeschooling, need some extra help, or just want to have some fun and interesting online classes. So today's story is going to be another Dr. Seuss. He's one of my favorites. Today's story is On Beyond Zebra by Dr. Seuss. So let's get started. On Beyond Zebra by Dr. Seuss. Said Conrad Cornelius O'Donnell Odell, my very young friend who is learning to spell. The A is for ape, and the B is for bear. The C is for camel, the H is for hare, the M is for mouse, and the R is for rat. I know all the 26 letters like that. Through to Z is for zebra. I know them all well, said Conrad Cornelius O'Donnell Odell. So now I know everything anyone knows, from beginning to end, from the start to the close, because Z is as far as the alphabet goes. Then he almost fell flat on his face on the floor when I picked up the chalk and drew one letter more, a letter he never had dreamed of before. And I said, "You can stop if you want with the Z, because most people stop with the Z, but not me. In the places I go, there are things that I see that I never could spell if I stopped with the Z. I'm telling you this 'cause you're one of my friends. My alphabet starts where your alphabet ends." My alphabet starts with this letter called Yuz. It's the letter I use to spell Yuzzamatuz. You'll be sort of surprised what there is to be found once you go beyond Z and start poking around. So on beyond zebra, explore like Columbus. Discover new letters like WUM is for Wumbus, my high spouting whale who lives high on a hill and who never comes down till it's time to refill. So on beyond Z, it's high time you were shown that you really don't know all there is to be known. Then just a step further past WUM is for Wumbus. And there you'll find and the is for umbus, a sort of a cow with one head and one tail. But to milk this great cow, you need more than one pail. She has 98 faucets that give milk quite nicely. Perhaps 99. I forgot just precisely. And boy, she is something most people don't see, because most people stop at the Z, but not me. I scramble through the swamp and through swamp, where the letters get better, like letters like humph. There's a real handy letter. What's handy about it? You just can't spell humph humph a dumpher without it. If you stay home with zebra, you're stuck in a rut. But on beyond zebra, you're anything but. Why, I know a fine fancy letter called fuddle. I use it in spelling Miss Fuddle Dee Duddle. And oh, what a bird of a bird of a bird of! Her tail is the longest that's ever been heard of. So long and so fancy, she'd be in a fix if she didn't have helpers. It takes about six to tag along hoisting Miss Fuddle-dee Duddle's wonderful tail out of muddle-dee puddles. And Glick is for Glicker, who lives in wild weeds and spends his time juggling fresh cinnamon seeds, which he's usually able to find in great number, excepting, of course, in the month of September, when cinnamon seeds aren't around in great number. So that month he juggles with seeds of cucumber. And N is the letter I use to spell nutches, who live in small caves known as niches for hutches. These nutches have troubles, the biggest of which is the fact there are many more nutches than niches. Each nutch in a niche knows that some other nutch would like to move into his niche very much. So each nutch in a niche has to watch that small niche, or nutches who haven't got niches will snitch. See, we go on to snee, and the snee is for sneedle, a terrible kind of ferocious mosquito, whose humdinger stinger is sharp as a needle. The sneedle's too tough to be killed with a smack, so he has to be hunted on elephant back. And your eyes and the elephant's have to be keen, and you have to aim fast, and you have to hit clean. And the bullet you shoot is a stale navy bean that you've dunked for 3 weeks in old sour kerosene, which is awfully hard work. So it's easy to see why most people stop at the Z, but not me. When you go beyond zebra, who knows? There's no telling what wonderful things you might find yourself spelling. Like Quan is for quandary, who lives on a shelf in a hole in the ocean, alone by himself. And he worries each day from the dawn's early light, and he worries, just worries, far into the night. He just stands there and worries. He simply can't stop. In his top side his bottom? Is his top side his bottom? Or bottom side top? Hmm. And thnad is for thnadners. And oh, are they sad, oh. The big one you see has the smaller one's shadow. The shadow's the small. The nadder has should be his. I don't understand it, but that's how it is. A terrible mix-up in shadows. Gee whiz. And spaz is a letter I use to spell spasm, a beast who belongs to the nasm of basm, handy for traveling. That's why he has im. More easy to pack than a suitcase or grip. Those horns carry all that he needs on a trip. A thread and a needle for mending his socks, his toothbrush, a cup, and 2 three-handed socks, and his velvet umbrella, his vegetable chopper, and also his gold-plated popping corn popper, and a grasshopper cage for his favorite grasshopper. And floob is for floob, boober, bab, boober, bubs, who bounce in the water like blueberry tubs. They're no good to eat. You can't cook 'em like steaks. But they're handy in crossing some small oceans and lakes. And Zaz is the letter I use to spell Zadzit, whose nose is so high that most nobody pats it. And patting his lonely old nose is the least that a fellow could do for his fine friendly beast. So, to get there and do it, I built an invention, the three-seater Zadzit nose patting extension. If you try to drive one, you'll certainly see most people stop at the Z, but not me. And jog is my letter for spelling jagoons, who doodle around in the far desert dunes. Just doodle around, crooning very sad tunes about peppermint, peanuts, and pebbles and prunes, and paint pots and polka dots, pinheads and pigs, and their grandmothers, grandfathers, stepsisters' wigs. So you see, there's no end to the things you might know, depending how far beyond zebra you go. I've a letter called Flun, and the Flun is for funnel. A softish, nice fellow who hides in a tunnel. He only comes out of his hole, I'm afraid, when the right kind of softest, nice music is played on a kind of a hunting horn called the ogrunth. And to learn how to play it takes month after month of practicing. Isn't much fun, and besides, it's quite heavy. Weighs almost a ton. That's why few people bother to play the ogrunth. So the funnel's been out of his tunnel just once. And way past Z is a letter called itch. And the itch is for itchapods, animals which race around back and forth and back, through the air, on a very high sidewalk between here and there. They're afraid to stay there. They're afraid to stay here. They think there is too far. They think here is too near. And since here is too near and there is too far, they are too scared to roost wheresoever they are. There's a letter called Yuck, and the yuck is for Yucko, who yowls, who howls in an underground grotto in Gecko. These Yuckos love echoes, and this is their motto. For best Yucko echoes, try Gecko, our grotto. Oh, the things you can find if you don't stay behind. On a world near the sun live two brothers called Vrooms, who, strangely enough, are built sort of like brooms. And they're stuck all alone up there high in the blue. And so, to kill time just for something to do, each one of these fellows takes turns with the other in sweeping the dust off his world with his brother. And hi is my letter for High Gargle Orum, who, for getting me places real fast, I'm all for 'em. They puffle along and their brakes never squeak, and they run every hour, every day of the week, from the town of North Nub to the town of East Ounce, making stops at West Bunglefield, Yupster, and Jounce. and at Ipswich and Nipswich, and also southbounds, and another small town that's too hard to pronounce. The places I took him, I tried hard to tell young Conrad Cornelius O'Donnell Odell. A few brand new wonderful words he might spell. I led him around and I tried hard to show there are things beyond Z that most people don't know. I took him past zebra as far as I could, and I think perhaps maybe I did some good. Because finally he said, "This is really great stuff, and I guess the old alphabet isn't enough." Now, the letters he uses are something to see. Most people still stop at the Z, but not he. List of letters for people who don't stop at Z. Yuz, glick, spaz, nitch, wum, nuh, floob, yek, snee, zats, vru, humph, quan, jog, hi, fuddle, thnad, flun. And what do you think we should call this one, anyhow? Hmm, I wonder. So, this is the end of our story today, On Beyond Zebra by Dr. Seuss. I hope you enjoyed the tongue twister story. Dr. Seuss is always the most interesting to read and the most difficult as well, as you can tell. I hope you enjoyed it. I loved reading Dr. Seuss. As always, feel free to join my group, Conquering at Homeschooling, where we talk about everything homeschooling that you want to talk about, our triumphs, our successes, our challenges, sharing resources, or just having some fun connecting to other parents who are going through the same situations that we are. Once again, my name is Teacher Cole, and I will see you again next Tuesday for another live reading. Have a good night.